And we're back again, and hey, stage 14, Shadow Dragon Saga. We're doing this. Alright, we're going in. So this is Shadow Dragon Saga. Now bear in mind there are some GT units you can use, the Super Saiyan 4s, you can use some Gogeta, right? So fine, there are some super class units you can use, but in this I'm going to use purely extreme class only because all of the links help out massively. I have gone to the extraordinary effort of getting everybody up to to level 10, especially on big bad bosses, especially when it comes to like GT and when it comes to like Shadow Dragons, because they all legitimately get like 50% to stats, and they even get key, because like for example GT is given 2 key, and Shadow Dragons as well is given something as well. It's all ridiculous, but they all support each other incredibly well, and as you can see we're starting off the bat auto super and it's ridiculous. So Shadow Dragon Saga, right, I'm using the entire team with this. As we'll explain just how useful a lot of these units are as we go through. So, best one is going to be legitimately this guy. But of course, he passively lowers the enemy's attack, but only if they're super class. So I don't... Oh no, actually I tell a lie. He passively lowers their attack, period. So yeah, everyone already has their attack and their defense lowered, and I don't know if that's strictly coming from all the other Shadow Dragons, but it's definitely him. I know there's 2 people at least who do this. Right, we're delaying too much. We're just going to hit anybody and just see what happens. Shadow Dragons, now the hardest thing that you have to go through in this is the fact that, oh, this will be interesting, is the fact that there's a Fighting Legend event where you against the GT Goku, where you've got to use GT bosses, and it's basically this team, right? Yeah, you think you've got to add in Super 17 as well, but it's basically this team. With the links maxed out, as I was saying, the reason why it's incredible, you must do it, is because you're getting like 50% stats prior to super attack effects, which means that it's the difference between life and death, especially when you come to like the Great Ape phase in there. It is ridiculous. You can get annihilated. Towards the end, they kind of settle in. You need the easy A's, of course. The guest has an easy A, he's now on 80%. So sure, and he also raises defense, multiple super attacks in the turn. Anyway, it's totally ridiculous. One of the MVPs of this is legitimately Oceanus, because she seals and can stun, and she does multiple supers. So she seals, and if she does another super attack, if they're sealed then they're stunned, so she basically does both effects. And she also raises defense by herself, and she's a wicked support. I mean, Oceanus is actually legitimately ridiculous on this. And of course, Nova builds up attack with his super attack effect, and so that makes him extremely useful. That makes him like he gets stronger with every passing turn, right? Of course, we have 1.46, but that's just not the. It will get higher and higher. Okay, no additional. He's able to hold his own, even type disadvantage. Oceanus, here we go. Watch Oceanus work. So she seals, and then she'll do the additional, and because they're sealed, I think they'll straight up stun them. And she does. So she straight up stuns him. Oh, and then she does the third one. So she's brilliant. Yeah. So a lot of the Shadow Dragons, they get bonuses based on whether the enemy is stunned, sealed, attack lowered, defense lowered. And the Omegas in particular, the STR and the physical, they do that passively. So this guy does it by 25%. He lowers their attack and defense by that amount. But that's nothing. STR Omega, who hasn't had his turn yet and he's coming up now, he passively lowers by 40%, which is ridiculous, and it's like a multiple stack. So in essence, if you were to run this guy in extreme super battle, monotype, super or extreme, for monotype versus super physical, rocking them as both a guest and a lead, you could have them on each rotation and you could passively lower their attack and defense by 40%. It's ridiculous. Coming in the game, we have 185, 173, 202, and again, all of these have incredible stats. Yeah, the only one who's missing out there is GT for you, and Shadow Dragons for you, but honestly you're missing out on 1%, which isn't going to affect it too much. But if you imagine you're going to lose 25% from big bad bosses, and you're going to be losing around 10% from Shadow Dragons and stuff like that. I mean, it's utter ridiculous. So everyone's got their attack and defense massively nerfed because you buy 40% and you buy at least 20%. I mean, seriously, it's a joke, right? So we will have you shine. You've not had much of a chance, so hey, this is your time to shine, my friend. People might think that this is a bit scary because it's Shadow Dragons and it's a very tiny team, and of course people might just think about that Fighting Legend GT Goku event. Sure, it is difficult, you have to use items, period, but it's doable if you have them all at the links like this. And there are other great units that you could use as well. You could also use the Tech Anniversary one as well that came out alongside the GT Heroes, and they're pretty solid as well, and they can get pretty nutty. But again, I'm just trying to use like an older units and trying to use free-to-play units in here. The middle unit then was the Baba Shop from doing the Chain Battle, no, not Chain Battle, what is Virtual Clash. Solid unit, right? Absolutely solid unit, totally capable. Weird active skill. The active skill gives everyone 7 ki, which is a bit weird. But yeah, and again, all the team gets buffed based on what they do. Let's see, we will, you know what, I feel like we want to do this. Actually, no, we want to see how well he can go. So if he gets additionals, Nova will look pretty jazzy. So let's see, and then we'll just do this. Nova might just get obliterated in this turn. Right, since you didn't super, prepare to be nerfed into the ground. So, let's see. Okay, so you're going to be sealed, and then you're going to have another super attack, and you're going to be sealed and stunned, and then she might just do one more for good measure. There we go, and she's off to the races. That's it. That is it. Once, I mean, it's ridiculous. The sheer complexity of what she can do is insane. Attack lowered, defense lowered. I'll just super attack them. Are they sealed? Well, I'll just stun them instead. It's mental. Right. Okay. So how do you want to drop these orbs? Will that work? I did work in the way I want. So we have a massive attack entering the game. I mean, it's more or less what you see when you enter the Fighting Legend event. This is kind of what you see, but every single one of these raise defense as well, and you do need a little bit of support in. So hence why for like GT bosses you could use this guy, and then you could also use Metal Wildo. But though Metal Wildo is more, he is a GT boss's buff of 40%. So imagine this, because this is prior to any super attack effect. Metal Wildo is giving him 40%. Yeah, exactly. It's pretty crazy. So, let's see. I just want to try and just not be... I'm not trying to be too stingy, but I want to make sure like the LRs and the big heavy hitting dudes get some orbs, right? Let's have a look. So, again, just totally going to crush. Yeah, and a double I mean, just what, 4.5 million attack stats. I mean, it's just eating him alive. Right, there we go. So that is one of the little levels done. We are now up to the final one. So the good news about category Super Battle Road now, well actually since Super and Extreme, is these are now all period 3 stages. So you could say that the worst bit is done for. Right, this will be a great chance to show the raw power of what this guy can do when he passively lowers attack by 20%. So tight neutrals across the board. So let's see, I think we'll just go for you. We'll go for Nova, because I think he's going to be easier to take down. Okay, and Oceanus, so it's a bit of a gamble, because everyone's attacking first. But let's see if we can't, but just to make life easier, I mean, realistically, you would take down the toughest one. So we'll stun and seal our Sin at the end here. Okay. So, yep, as you can see, lowering, I mean, his easy A stats, and then he passively lowers attack. It just helps, right? Coming off the bat with a 3 million, very nice. Another one, 3.5 million, sure. He's raising defense per super attack for the turn by 30%, so You know, ridiculous. Bring it on. Bring it on. What a... Oh, dodge. I think that legitimately might be 3 dodge. My one does. I don't know if that was the guest. The guest could be the... Yeah, that could be the case. Wow, that was on camera. Was that the guest? Oh, it's mine. I'm pretty sure he has like 3 dodge. That's ridiculous. Not that it would have done much damage. It would have saved us like 50k. But, you know, I could say, hey, that could have done 100k plus. And you never would have known. I mean, it wouldn't have done. I gotta know. I gotta know. What was mine looking at? So it was me, and it's 3 dodge. I always like to say you need at least somewhere between 5 and 10. But for a lot of units, you can prioritize focus. You want to give them at least something because it gives you a chance. It's only a 3% chance, but the 3% just propped. How are we doing this? We're doing this. It's an 18 key. That's great because you lower stats. Because just nerfs these dudes into the ground just like hell. And yeah, okay, we'll do that. Yeah, so yeah, I always like to say you want some between 5 and 10%. You legitimately do as well, and I say 5% for anyone who's basically not an int unit, and 10 if you are an int unit, because they already have 5, so you might as well buff it up. And the reason being on that is, well, at level 10 you have a 10% chance to actually dodge any attack, which means that legitimately you will see that quite often. Well, it's only a 10% chance per attack, but if you're facing like these many turns and that unit's getting many in attack, you're likely to get it. And then one of the chances, one of them's a super attack, legitimately could save your life. Just like, well, it's not going to save my life in that scenario, but it did save us damage. And for some people who don't have these at level 10 lanes, that would have hurt, absolutely. But yeah, okay, so we'll do this. They're the same. Yeah, that's annoying. That when one day there'll be an update when the same name unit will be able to share links. That would be broken. Right. Okay. So Sin is going to die. He's out of the question. And then that just leaves Nova. Question is, are we able to take care of Nova before the next turn? This is going to be overkill. 4.5, well, 4 1/3 million, and a smidge of health. Overkill, just a bit. Alright, Nova's got half his health left. How much damage can we inflict before the type advantage monster comes in? Because he will probably clean up the rest. I will prioritise orbs for him. Let's see. I don't think we're doing enough damage here. No, we're not doing enough damage. So it's going to... Well, I mean, yeah, fair enough. Right, we are able to get... Lovely. That worked out just in our favour. It's out right now. So, 243, he's building up quite nice. And then it's going off in style. The LR Shadow Dragons will take down Nova with flair, tenacity and style. Coming in at 4.8 million, just a shade under 5. Type advantage, very flashy. And yeah, that's it. He's taken out, he's debuffed, and he just got obliterated with a white screen. Okay, very nice. And in that particular one, he got taken out by his own kin, which is just the cherry on the top, right? So there we go, that is stage 14, Shadow Dragon Saga. And it's been Fusion and Shadow Dragons because they were the original categories to come out, and I've used the original category leads. I will try and maintain to do that. That essentially is not strictly the only team. There were, of course, some super options you can use. You can use Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta, the LR equivalents, Full Power EZA, Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I'm pretty sure there's a Trunks and a Pan that's in there. So legitimately you could make some other uses in here, but Shadow Dragon Saga, they're Shadow Dragons, very old, very easy to obtain. If any one of them's free to play, I mean, I suppose if you're totally fresh, you're not going to get this guy anytime soon, right? Because you need to do a lot of the battle rush, the virtual clash, in order to get the points. But even just having one of them, that's going to be huge. I'm probably 1 or 2 off myself from actually doing it. He's not Rainbow. He only is 1 dupe. So yeah. Anyway, that's it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.